Hello and thank you for joining us. In this presentation, we're going to be talking about document or contract intake and review. Now you're probably wondering if you should be watching this video. Well, here are a couple questions to help you get to that answer. Are you inundated with requests to review documents, contracts, or forms? Are these requests coming in via email and missing critical information needed to actually start the review? Do you need to be able to track these reviews as they're going through the process? Are you going to need to follow up on these documents once the review is completed? In other words, do periodic reviews, maybe track renewals or expirations? Are you concerned about introducing users to a whole new interface? Well, if you answered yes to any of these questions, probably makes sense to watch this video. So let's get started. Here we are at the MicroStrategies webpage, and of course this process can be kicked off from any webpage. I'll go to Company. You'll see at the bottom I've got Contract Review Request. So I'll click on that, and that will launch the form that we will use to gather the information to drive the process forward. Here's my form, and I'll enter the information here real quick. And again, this form is based on a particular set of needs. Obviously, based on your needs, you might have different properties or information. And as you can see, you can have different controls in terms of being able to select your data. I'll put a due date for when this needs to get taken care of. Department involved. It's a new relationship. We've got our business group, category. I could decide if there's somebody particular I want to start the review process in the workflow, and of course our reason. Now down here, of course, I want to be able to add the documents I need to process. So I will go off and add some supporting documents, or at least one supporting document. And of course, I'll add my NDA to the process, because that's what I want reviewed. So I've added my information. Enter the information in the form. I've gone off and attached my documents for the review. Let's get the process started. Here we are in Outlook, and of course, by virtue of the form we filled out, triggered the process and sent a notification that somebody has something to do, in this case, me. Here's my email that I received. I'll double click on it. You'll notice that it's got a bunch of information in it. Top part has got the unique identifier that was created for this particular review, and this is all the information that was entered in the form. If I scroll down to the bottom, you'll see two links, one to the CR request folder, so that's the folder structure that was automatically built in Box by virtue of the information we entered in the form, as well as a memorialized version of that form in a PDF. So it took the form and converted that to a PDF. So let's click on this link here to go to the folders that were built in Box. So here is that folder structure. You'll see Tivana here was the vendor we entered, and of course the automatic ID that was created is sitting right here. And of course, I've got the folder structure that was automatically created. And this is that memorialized PDF, which is the form again that we filled out that triggered the process. So let's go to working documents. Here's that document that was attached to the form. I can review the document. I can put notes and so forth, comments for that next person looking at it. So again, comments for the next person looking at it. I can also take a look at the metadata or properties that were automatically assigned by virtue of entering the information in the form. The request number, the status is automatically applied, okay, as well as a due date. Remember, we added the due date, the department, and so forth. What I want to do now is I want to say what type of document it is. This is an NDA. And this is something that could happen automatically on that intake form. It depends on your comfort level of the users you're working with, how much you want to give them to assign the metadata. So I'll save my metadata. And of course, I can update this document as well. So I've got my document, may want to make some changes. So I'll go off and say, just for the purposes of here, And of course, it's going to automatically save it, which it's doing right now. Document saved. So now from here, when I'm done, I can go off and exit this process. And of course, I'm done editing the document. As you can see, a new version automatically appears in here. If I want, I can refresh, take a look at that new version. Track changes automatically set, so of course it shows me what new information was in there. But I'm all done, so I'll close out. Now I'm back to my email. Now what I need to do here is just reply with either reject, approve, or send for legal review. And of course this again depends on your solution. So I'm going to send this for legal review because I've made some changes. And I'll just say send for legal review. Here we are back in my inbox, and you'll notice that there's two notifications that I've sent out. Of course, I'm playing the role of legal as well as requester. You'll notice a notification was sent to the requester. So the person that actually initiated the process gets an update as to what's going on. And of course, you have an email to the legal team for them to review. So the legal one, pretty cut and dry. It's really great saying, here is that unique ID, and here is a link so the legal person can go look at that document. So let's click on that folder link. And of course, it takes them to the same place we were before, but now is legal. So I go to Working Documents, click on my document. You'll notice there's a comment for me to take a look at, so I can add more comments if appropriate. And of course, I can look at the metadata if need be. Now, you know what? I want to take a look at what's different. So the document came in, and then it was edited by the validation team. So let's do a quick compare. So I go over here, I go to my integrations, I say compare versions. And it presents me with the two versions, the one that originally came in, and of course, the one that was edited by the previous step. Let's take a look at what happened there. So now you see there's a third version. That third version is the comparison. So I can go off and click on that, and it gives me the comparison. And based on how I've set up the document, it'll show me anything that is changed. So it took the previous two versions, did a compare, and made that the current version. So this looks pretty good. I'm comfortable with everything. So I'm going to go off and close this out. I'm back to my email. From here, I can hit reply. And of course, my options are reject, approve, or send for validation. So back to the validation team. At this point, I'm just going to say approve. Here we are back at my email. Of course, we have another notification. This one, of course, to the requester. Again, that would be me, telling me, hey, your request has been approved. Basically closing the loop on the process. And of course, if you're interested in reporting, you can review documents by status or type, track productivity, even create reports on these documents to review with your team. We've got another video, Document Lifecycle and Reporting, that you can take a look at, and that'll give you a great overview of the kind of reports you can generate with this information. So what did you learn? Well, you learned that capturing incoming review requests can be easy. Ensuring you have the information needed to start the review process is possible. And of course, users can accomplish these tasks without learning a whole new interface. So what are your next steps? Well, it's time to reach out to MicroStrategies so we can help you like we help our other clients.